which are the derivatives of trigonometric functions. So let's first start with the rules we need to know. We have first y is equals to sine x, y is equals to cosine x. And so we have to memorize these rules. When y is sine x, my y prime is cosine x. When my y is cosine x, my y prime is negative sine x. When I have tangent x, the derivative is secant squared x. When I have secant, my y prime is secant x tangent x. For cotangent, it is negative cosecant x squared. And for cosecant, it is negative cosecant x cotangent x. So we need to memorize these rules. Okay, let's start with our first question. We have y is equals to x squared minus sine x. To find the derivative, we're going to find the derivative of x squared, which is 2x, minus the derivative of sine x, which according to the rules is cosine x, and that's it. That's my derivative. Okay, so we have our second question, which is y is equals to x squared sine x. Here I have x squared multiplied by sine x, so it's this term, x squared times sine x. So this is my u, this is my v. We have to apply the product rule. U is x squared, u prime is 2x, my v is sine x, and my v prime is cosine x. Now I'm just gonna apply the rule, so y prime is equals to u prime v, which is 2x times sine x, plus v prime u, which is cosine x times x squared. Now just put the terms together, 2x sine x plus x squared cosine x, and that's my answer. Okay, so this is our next question. We have y is equals to sine x over x. This is the quotient rule because they're being divided by each other. So this is u and this is v. I'm going to take my u to be sine x. My u prime is cosine x. My v is x and my v prime is 1. Now I'm going to apply the formula. Y prime is equals to u prime v, which is cosine x multiplied by x, minus v prime u, which is 1 times sine x, all over, divided by v squared, which is x squared. Y prime, cosine x times x is x cosine x, minus sine x, all over x squared. Okay, our other question is y is equals to sine x cosine multiplied by cosine x. I have my u and v, so this is my u, this is my v. U is equals to sine x, u prime is cosine x, my v is cosine x, and my v prime is negative sine x. Now I'm gonna apply the formula. Y prime is equals to u prime v, which is cosine x into cosine x, plus v prime u, which is negative sine x multiplied by sine x. So my answer is gonna be cosine squared x minus sine squared x. I put squared because it's sine multiplied by sine and cosine multiplied by cosine. When you have the same number multiplied by each other, it's the same thing as saying the number is squared. Okay, so this is our new question. Sine x plus cosine x into secant x. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna distribute the secant x to both terms. I'm not deriving yet, so it's still y. So I'm gonna have secant x sine x plus secant x cosine x. Now we know that secant is 1 over cosine x. So we're gonna replace secant x with 1 over cosine x. So y, I'm still not finding the derivative yet. 1 over cosine x sine x plus 1 over cosine x cosine x. So here it can become sine x over cosine x. I'm just putting the sign here since it's 1, plus cosine x over cosine x. Now, sine over cosine, these are rules. Sine x over cosine x is always tangent x. So this is going to become tangent x. And then cosine over cosine is just 1. This is not y prime. So now I'm going to find the derivative of this. So now I'm finding y prime. The derivative of tangent is secant squared x. And then 1 is just going to become 0 because it's a constant. So this is my final answer. Okay, so now we have our new question. X squared cosine x minus 2x sine x minus 2 cosine x. So here I have many product rules subtracted from each other. So I have first, this is my u, this is my v, my u, v, and then I have, you can take this as u and v. Now I'm gonna label each one as 1, 2, and 3, and I'm gonna solve for each one alone. So let's take the first one. I'm gonna write x squared cosine x so we know which one we're finding. So I'm gonna take u to be x squared, u prime to be 2x, v to be cosine x, and v prime to be negative sine x. Now I'm gonna apply the formula. So u prime v, which is 2x into cosine x, plus v prime u, which is negative sine x into x squared. So we can rewrite this as 2x cosine x minus x squared sine x. So here, this is our first answer to this bit. Now for the second bit, I'm gonna take the negative with it, so I can just add them in the end without having to worry about the negative. Negative 2x sine x. My u is negative 2x. My u prime is gonna be negative 2. My v is sine x. My v prime is gonna be cosine x. Now I'm just gonna apply the formula. U prime v, so negative 2 into sine x plus v prime u, which is cosine x into negative 2x. So this is going to give me negative 2 sine x minus 2x cosine x. So this is for my second bit. So this is for this one. Now for the third part, I have minus 2 cosine x. So let's do my u and v. I have u is equals to negative 2, u prime is going to be 0, v is equals to cosine x, my v prime is going to be negative sine x. So let's solve for, so u prime v, 0 times cosine x, plus v prime u, which is negative sine x, into negative 2. Now this is 0, so it's going to cancel. So my final answer is going to be negative 2 times negative 1, so it's going to become positive. So 2 sine x. So this is going to be my answer for this one. So I solved each one of them separately. Now I'm gonna add all of them together. Why am I adding them? Because I already put the negative sign here. If not, then you're gonna have to distribute on all that. So I just solved them with the negative sign. So now I'm just gonna put them all into one big equation. So I'm going to put here 2x cosine x minus x squared sine x minus 2 sine x minus 2x cosine x plus 2 sine x. So I just added all these three and I put them all together here. Now what are we gonna do here? I have 2x cosine x positive and I have 2x cosine x negative, so these two are gonna cancel. I have negative 2 sine x and positive 2 sine x. These two are going to cancel as well. So my final answer is going to be y prime is equals to negative x squared sine x. Okay, so now we have this question. We need to find y prime. I'm going to apply the quotient rule. This is my u, this is my v. U is equals to sine x. U prime is cosine x. My v is 1 plus cosine x. And my v prime is gonna be negative sine x. Now I'm going to apply the formula. So u prime v, so y is equals to cosine x into 1 plus cosine x minus sine x into sine x. Now I'm gonna add this here, so I don't get confused. Y prime is equals to, I'm gonna distribute the cosine. I'm gonna get cosine x plus cosine squared x. Now I'm going to, this becomes positive, so plus sine squared x, and then all over v squared, which is 1 plus cosine x squared. Now we have an identity which says cosine squared x plus sine squared x is always equals to 1. This is an identity. So this is gonna become equals to 1. So I'm gonna get cosine x plus 1 all over 1 plus cosine x all squared. Now what can I do here? So this is basically equals to cosine x plus 1. Okay, so 1 plus cosine x squared is basically 1 plus cosine x into 1 plus cosine x, right? So I can cancel 1 because these two are the same. So I'm gonna end up with y prime is 1 over 1 plus cosine x. Okay, for our last question, we're given r is equals to 4 minus theta squared sine theta. So here I have my first term. The derivative of this is a constant, so 0. Now I'm gonna deal with this. This is a product rule since I have u and v here. They're multiplied by each other. My u is negative theta squared. My u prime is gonna be negative 2 theta. My v is sine theta. My v prime is gonna be cosine theta. Now I'm gonna apply the rule. Negative 2 theta multiplied by sine theta plus negative theta squared into cosine theta. This is gonna give me r prime to be negative 2 theta sine theta minus theta squared cosine theta. And this is my final answer.